Hello friends, it's Danny here, and I have a little bit of a different type of video today. On my day one of Tag a Day November, I had a friend, hi Terry, ask if I could share like how I actually, like my thought process and how I create the tags. I never really thought about sharing that because to me it's like second nature, but I realize not everyone has been crafting as long as I have. So um it's really hard for me to like think about it, but I'm going to do my best. But like for this tag, I always start with a blank tag and then I just add the layers. I do have something picked out, so we're going to actually create it, but hopefully this will help explain it, Terry. If not, just leave me a comment and I'll try to do better. Like I said, it's kind of like, I don't know, writing or something. To actually think about how to do it is a little bit more challenging sometimes when you have to try to explain it to someone. So the first thing when I'm making a tag is that I usually pick out like my focal image. So I've decided for today's video, I would just use some fabulous ephemera from Not Too Shabby. This is the Warm Winter Friends. And so I usually dump it all out and then decide what I want to do. And I decided I wanted to work with this cute little snowman. Adorable, adorable. And then I usually pick out the paper. So I used Not Too Shabby again, a Woodland Christmas and Christmas Plaids #2. Anything that is still available, I will leave in the description box, linked in the description box. I'm not sure. I just grabbed from my stash. So then the next thing that I would do is I would go through my many tag dies and decide what tag I wanted to use. And I would like addition the little snowman on lots of them. Like I originally had thought I would use these, but he's too big, so it wouldn't work. So I decided on these, which are the Cat Scrappiness Stitched Scalloped Nesting Tags, one of my favorite tag die sets. And he fits nicely and you'll still be able to see some of the paper. So that's the die that I decided to go with. So then my next step is that I always make like a base layer out of cardstock. So I have been using white, I think, from almost all of my Tag a Day series. So I just went with white because it was easy, it was handy. Next, I make like the base layer, I guess you would call it, of whatever pattern paper I want on the bottom. So that will go on next, and I just die cut that out. And then I always kind of dry fit or like addition it before I like glue everything down. And I knew I wanted one more piece of paper. So to make him kind of stand out, it would still kind of have that country feel, I went with this paper here, kind of more of a neutral. And I already had this strip in my like paper pad. And so all I did is I lined it up with the die like so. And I used some removable Scotch tape so I could run it in an angle, and then it has the stitching on the sides. So then I know that that can layer there, and then he will look really nice there. And then I was like, I kind of want just something else. So I thought I would just pull in a strip of this red, and that's going to go right here at the bottom, and he's going to stand on it. And so there, my tag is coming together. So then it's just a matter of putting it all together. So basically, I start with a base of cardstock, and then I just add the layers and I try it out. And that's just kind of my process. I kind of do the same thing for every tag. I start with the image usually, and then go to the papers, and then like the tag die to see what would work, and just build it from there. I don't know if I'm explaining it right or not, but that is my process. I do use dry adhesive, the ATG, and liquid adhesive. I use Barely Arts glue just to make sure that everything stays where it should. And I just line it up. I'm sorry about the glare. My lighting in my room is not the greatest. It's like right directly overhead, but hopefully you get the point. I got that on. I usually put my stamp on the back, like created by Danni or whatever, but I didn't grab that out. So the next is going to be this one. Make sure I have it on the right side that I want it, since it is double-sided paper. ATG's acting a little funky this morning, of course, always for the camera, right? And then I add some liquid glue. I make sure that I go there. All right, and then I'm gonna put that up a little bit like that. I can still see a peek of that. Oh, it moved on me. I've been making things crooked, so we're going to try to make sure this is straight. The next would be this strip down here. And it still looks like I got that crooked. I'm not going to worry about it. It's a handmade tag, right? We're just going to put this down here. I'm going to flip it over and grab out my nonstick scissors and just trim that off like so. Gonna throw those away, wipe up that glue. So it's starting to take shape there. Then the next thing, and not last, is to add our little snowman. I'm gonna pop him up on some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And excuse my sniffles. I guess it's fall allergies, or I'm getting a cold or something. I'm constantly sniffing and blowing my nose lately. 'Tis the season, right? All right. Remove all those release papers. Maybe. And it goes, the crowd goes silent. No, sorry. In a weird mood today. Okay, I don't have that one. And I can never remember where I've taken, so I always just touch them to make sure they're all sticky before I put them down. So then he's gonna go right there. Isn't he just adorable? And then the last step is the ribbon. I did find this ribbon in my stash. It was from Stampin' Up, probably long retired. Oh, I always fold it. I'm horrible at doing bows. If you can do a bow, more power to you. You are my hero. And I just make a little hole there, slide it through, and then kind of tighten it up. And then I cut the ends at opposite angles. And there we have a tag. So Terry, let me know if that answers your question. Basically, I start with a base layer and then I just add my layers just like making a card. Yeah, like I said, I hope that helps. Let me know if this helped or if you need more explanation and I can try. But there's a cute little tag that we made in no time at all. So until my next video, thanks for stopping by, and go do something for yourself and go get crafty. Bye now.